Listen, I'm not negative and I'm not positive. I'm a motherfucking realist. Okay? You're 5'6", you're 110 pounds, you jump fucking 10 inches off the floor, you're going to a Division II college to play fucking basketball. You're gonna make it to the pros? You might make it, you might not. You might make it through a lot of heart, but will you endure all those years like Spud Webb? I mean, what, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to make decisions. Do I give this up now? Am I invested in this? You know, there's different decisions we have to make.
Do you stress it a lot now? Because I mean, I've known you for like 4 years, and I know you get mad about some things, but I don't really. I think I've ever seen you or heard you talk about being stressed about something. Maybe
I
Mercy.
used to be stressed. When I was a young man, I used to always be a man with stress.
Should I get you tissue?
No. Sorry about that, people. The allergies out here. I was always stressful. From the ages of... Fuck, what happened to our box of tissues?
I think it was over.
From the ages of 15, even before my mom passed, to 24, I was a stress machine. I asked questions. Why? How come? You know, one day I was like, what does it matter? What does it fucking matter? And I didn't know.
Right.
I used to be I would lose sleep at night. Excuse me, I went to a doctor and he told me. He talked to me like, and it wasn't a psychiatrist, he was a family doctor that was a little older and just sat me down and said, I got time. What bothers you? Give me 3 of the things that bother you. My future, this, that. And he goes, you don't have to worry about any of that. Think about it. What are you worried about that shit for? And I was like, it was like he fucking took the fucking blinders off my eyes. There's so many unnecessary things we as Americans think about and worry about that they don't affect our life in any way. But for some reason, we think that affects us.
Right.
And there's things that we'd like to make believe affect us so we get some sort of attention.
Right. Well, like that's the sort of thing for me. I try not to get mad. Like if a flight gets canceled, as long as the people there are polite, there's not really anything I'm going to be able to do about that. Where I'm bad is I'm always looking forward. So like I'm always like 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 6 months, and that's what I get nervous about.
That's what I used to do. What am I going to be doing in 10 years? And next thing you know, I'm pacing and I'm fucking crying. And
Yep.
I'm 21. What the fuck do you need to worry about 10 years, 3 years, 5 years, or 2 years? Just worry about your plan for the next 6 months at 21. And once I did that, I started making little strides. And this was way before I met Jim Handy. I just talked to that doctor, and that doctor said to me, what are you worried about? This. Well, you were going to school now, right? Yeah. What are you taking? 6 credits a semester. You're halfway there. It's going to take you 8 years to get a degree. Yeah, but what in 3 years? What am I going to do when they go? What are you worried about it for? It's got nothing to do with your burying or what you're doing right now. I had coffee with Josh Wolf this morning, and it's very interesting that that's the same kid I sat across 17 years ago talking about our fears and our hopes and what we wanted in L.A. And you look at this guy now, and he's calm. We were in a rush to go nowhere.
Right.
We were we were sprinting in a fucking distance run. You know,
like a track
in a marathon. We were sprinting in a marathon.
Oh, okay.
And that type of sprinting, that type of, your nose is over. Hi, Joey. We have, yesterday I got a call to do the podcast festival. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I would have stressed out about that right now. Oh my God, I have Vegas. I'd like to do the festival. If I don't do the festival, what's going to happen to me and the festival? You know what? Nothing's going to happen.
Right.
Nothing. It's like we're waiting for this bomb to drop. We stay in our homes. It's like 2YK. What was that?
Y2K.
How old were you in 2YK? What, 15 years ago? So you were 12.
Yeah, I was 12, 13 years.
When you went to bed that night, did you say a Jew prayer?
No, I wasn't worried about it.
Did you look at your bank account?
I didn't have a bank account.
Well, a lot of people did. A lot of people went to bed very scared and opened up their windows the next day and they looked around like I Am Legend.
Yeah.
That they were going to be the only people left in the fucking world. And what happens?
World keeps going.
There's something that, I hate telling people that I've learned stuff from movies. But sometimes a writer has a message. And it could be in a book, it could be in a movie. I mean, anytime somebody writes something good, there's really a message in there. If you really fucking think about it, whether it's The Exorcist or The Godfather. Or and what the fuck was I saying? Oh, about
A message in the movie.
And there's in The Thief, there's a story when he's telling Tuesday Weld about a situation and how he got himself worked up and the whole thing. And the next day when they released him from that thing, he goes, you know what happened? Nothing. Nothing at all happened. It was like, but here I worked myself up, and that's what I used to do, Lee.
Yeah.
I used to work myself up before I go to bed about the day before. I was the king of that. I was the king of
Like
that.
analyzing what you said and what you did?
No, analyzing the next day
Oh,
before
the next
it
day.
even happened. You know, I'm going for an interview. That shit used to drive me bat crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how I still get tweets from people, hey, Joey, I'm going on an interview. Wish me luck. Those are the first people I wish luck. Because I know how I felt when I was 20 and 21 going into those things. What did it feel like, Lee? The end of your world.
Yeah.
You don't know how to deal with the other side yet. When you get out of college and you go on these job interviews and they call you in for 2 interviews and you don't get the job, you really feel disappointment the first time you hear no. The no's start to not sting as much. It's like getting smacked in the face. If I smack you 15 times a day, after 30 days, you're going to go, Joey, you better start smacking me 30 because I don't feel these 15.
Right. The only issue that with job interviews is like it's a little bit different from prison in a way, is that a lot of times you just don't hear. So I used to get stressed out about that too.
There you go.
Because you'll leave the interview and it's the
Overanalyze
only
the
thing in your
interview.
head. So, but for them, they're doing 10 more interviews and they have 4 meetings that day. So it's you always think you're more important than you are. Not like that you have a big ego, but it's just like everything in your life is the most important thing. But to everyone else, it's way down the list. They have their whole life to deal with.
No, I used to live with a kid in this town for a few months, in between girlfriends one time. He had lost his girlfriend, I had lost my girlfriend, and I would listen to him in the mornings. He was from the East Coast, and he would call his mom up every morning and discuss the audition, and he was terrible. He was terrible. He doesn't even live in L.A. no more. I don't even think he's in the business. I mean, usually people can keep you in contact. He's gone. And I always start by calling your mom and your uncles and your friends. You put too much pressure on yourself. Like for me, in my world, that's too much pressure. So now I switch it. I switch it to a kid like yourself that calls their mom and go, Mom, you're not going to believe this. You know, because just last Thanksgiving at fucking supper, Grandma said to you, why don't you live in Connecticut with us? You know, we have the pen factory.